that sums it up. All offense, actually little defense on the part of Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Let's listen in on the referee, Richard Steele.
Obey my commands at all times. Is there any question? Shake hands, good luck.
Scoring is on the 10-point must system, with the judges handling the scoring. The standing 8 count is in effect as you take a look at the tail of the tape. And you see the height advantage over 4 inches in favor of Ocasio. 3 knockdown rule in effect. And the ring physician has the authority to stop the fight, as does the referee. A fighter may not be saved by the bell except in the last round.
Ocasio opening up much faster than he usually does.
We mentioned the inactivity of Ocasio. His last fight, March of '86, he won a 10-round decision over 6'2" Maldonado, a man that Dwight Qawi destroyed in 4 rounds last February. No contest. And Ocasio did not fight at all through 1985.
Ring rust going to be a factor here. Qawi is on a roll right now. He's used to fighting often now, and he's always a fighter that was a busy fighter. Ocasio has been characterized by the wise guys as a defensive fighter without a good defense, which leaves very little to talk about. He falls back. He tries to get you into traps. His defense is not the greatest because once the action starts going, he gets hammered.
Midway point, opening round. This is scheduled for 10. Ocasio has actually had a second life as a junior heavyweight or cruiserweight after beginning his professional career as a heavyweight. In fact, he fought Larry Holmes for the WBC heavyweight crown. It was back in '79. Qawi able to get the rip up on Ocasio.
Great right-hand punch on Ocasio coming in. He's a little bit slow. That ring rust almost immediately showing up.
Ocasio being chased and trying to stay away.
Qawi just loading up in this first round. He's just not holding anything back.
Ocasio has been fighting so long. He has been around since 1976 as a professional. He met Jimmy Young twice, winning both times on decisions. Fought Michael Dokes twice. One bout was a draw. The other, Ocasio knocked down in the first round.
Get out. Don't hold it. Ocasio, don't hold it.
And we're final seconds, opening round. And this is round 2.
That Spanish you heard from Benitez said, come in now, jab and come in. That's exactly what he did, and got gonged by a right hand in the first round, which was the best and maybe only serious punch of that encounter, which I felt that Qawi won handily, on points, unofficial.
Ocasio just pawing away and then trying to get out of the way of the steamroll effect of Qawi.
That's basically what they meant by a defense that was no defense. I mean, he's ineffectual. The jab is not a stinging jab. It doesn't keep people away. And Dwight does exactly what he wants. Just comes ahead, waiting for the opportunity to land that right hook that's so strong, or the left hook to the body, which is his patented attack. He must have the oldest knee brace in boxing. It's got a rip in it. I think someone should inform him that they sell those. If you get a new one, you don't have to use it for the rest of your life.
They were selling it actually in one of the boutique shops here at the Caesars.
At the Smithsonian.
Qawi's last fight was in Atlantic City back in February. That 4-round knockout of 6'0" Maldonado. Last July, he lost that 15-round decision. Terrific fight, losing to Evander Holyfield in the WBA junior heavyweight title. That one, Qawi got off quickly, and then Holyfield came on. It had been a long layoff for Qawi over 6 months between fights.
That's when he felt that he had it in his hands. He had stunned Holyfield, and he let him off the hook, and he said that's not going to happen again.
Break. Don't hold.
Richard Steele telling Ocasio to stop the holding. It was a grazing blow by Qawi, although the crowd reacted. And now the right hand got in.
His size differential should certainly be in Ocasio's favor, but when you're that tall and you're falling back all the time, the little guy can just eat you up, which is what Qawi has done for these 2 rounds.
Ocasio at 5'11", and Qawi at 5'6 3/4. Qawi is throwing himself at Ocasio and landing with the occasional right hand.
If any of you youngsters are looking, if you want to learn how not to throw a jab, watch Ocasio. He just paws it out there and leaves it out there.
Oh, big right hand by Ocasio. Did not land flush, fortunately for Ossie Ocasio. So, in the corner of White Muhammad Qawi, the cutman Eddie Ellis. And this is round 3. Marv Albert with the fight doctor for Pacheco from the Sports Pavilion at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ocasio didn't get a whole lot of help in his corner. Benitez, the corner man said, you're doing all right. Just go easy, take it easy, and jab and then step in. Right now, his biggest trouble is he's going to lose his trunks if somebody doesn't pull him up over his protector.
Yeah. Winner of this bout will face the winner of the Holyfield-Parkey fight that is coming up later on. Here on Showtime. And that will be a title bout.
Listening to the long list of heavyweights that Ocasio fought, and you look at him now, you wonder how he got in with heavyweight. It looks like he shrunk since then, because he certainly doesn't look like he belongs in with Holmes and Young and the likes of all of those big heavyweights.
And Qawi won the WBC light heavyweight title back in 1981, successfully defended 3 times, lost the crown to Michael Spinks in March of 83. Qawi says he still has hopes of avenging that loss to Spinks. The man is 34 years old, but still looking for Michael Spinks. And, of course, he would like another shot at Evander Holyfield if Holyfield gets by Ricky Parkey.
Qawi is that kind of warrior that wants to take on everybody. He wants to take on Tyson. He wants to take on Spinks again. He'll take on Cootie if they let him. He's just a fighter. Man is a gladiator. Again, the ineffective jab and falling in to tie up Qawi before he can get off that left hook.
Nothing at all on the punches of Ossie Ocasio, which has been his story right throughout his long career. He's clawing away with the jab.
Well, he says he has to warm up his muscles. So he's in the process of warming up right now and blowing the first 3 rounds while he's doing it.
Well, our final seconds of round 3. Thinking back to Qawi's last outing back in Atlantic City in February. 12:30 after he beat Maldonado, he was a bit on the excitable side as he looked to a rematch with Holyfield.
I'd be good enough for Holyfield.
So Dwight Muhammad Qawi wants another shot at Evander Holyfield. Qawi told by the referee Rick Steele to give Ossie Ocasio some room as he finally makes the adjustment with his trunks.
They finally got the trunks up there.
This is round 4. It has been Qawi over the first 3 rounds. No knockdowns to this point. Scheduled for 10.
First 2 good shots by Ocasio. Nice 1-2 off the ropes. He certainly has got to get warmed up into some kind of offensive action. A nice pot shot right hand, but without a lot of sting to it. It landed and builds up points, but doesn't hurt anything but his feelings.
What does the fight doctor's scorecard show us?
I have a sweep, 30-27, meaning all 3 rounds have gone to Qawi.
Scoring on the 10-point must system. The 3 judges: Art Laurie of Las Vegas, along with Bill Grant, Dave Moretti.
Appears to have lost what little punch he had. He has no steam to him. They're not zipping sharp punches. They don't look like they could hurt Qawi. And certainly something's got to stop him and deter him from this determined tracking and attack that is his style.
Qawi looking to unleash the right hand. Continues to chase Ocasio. Mike Qawi, 34 years old, from Camden, New Jersey. Product of a broken home. His childhood story not on a pretty tale. He served 5.5 years at Rahway State Prison for armed robbery. Became interested in boxing by sparring with another prison inmate, James Scott. He says the time he spent behind bars turned his life around. Became a professional boxer in 1978.
Now almost leaping off his feet, trying to get to him, to Ocasio as he falls back into the ropes.
That'll do it. Round 4. We are at on the judges. It is Dave Moretti and Art Laurie, but they're working along with Patricia German, all from Las Vegas. And you're hearing the referee Richard Steele trying to prevent the holding tactics primarily being utilized by Ossie Ocasio. Right hand by Qawi just missed. Freezing blow to the side. And again, no problems with the trunks of Ossie Ocasio.
I think they're going to have to bring in some suspenders. These are old. Oh, he's pulled out all. He's pulled out all the strings. Now there's 2 strings dangling in front of his trunks. Not a pretty sight.
Talking with Dwight Qawi earlier in the week, he did not expect that he would be boxing in round number 5.
He did not expect a track meet either. He expected some kind of a fight, which has not materialized to this moment. Ocasio is fighting what is called a survival fight, charitably.
And he has Qawi lunging, that time with the left hand.
There are those who feel that a championship fight, especially almost at the end of your career, there goes the mouthpiece of Ocasio. championship fight, especially toward the end of your career, you should let it all lay out. Do as much as you can, whether you go out on the canvas or not, but go out a fighter.
In Ocasio's case, that has never been his style, and I would think if he attempted to do that, particularly against a hard puncher like Qawi, it would be an early ending.
It will just delay the inevitable. Since Ocasio's not fighting to win this fight particularly right now, but just falling back unless he's waiting for Dwight, Qawi to get tired.
Great. Step back, step back, step back.
And we're moving up on 15 seconds to go in the 5th round. It's scheduled for 10.
And Ocasio stepping up to speed. He's almost breaking into a trot now.
Peekaboo tactic by Qawi, taking a couple of light jabs and trying to unleash. That'll be it. Last time we saw Dwight Qawi in February in Atlantic City, he came in at a chunky 207 pounds for Sixto Maldonado. He's down to 195 and a half for this evening. 207, the heaviest he had ever carried. And also heard about it from the media and was not pleased. All right, come on and fight, says Dwight Qawi. It has not been a thriller because of the tactics of Ocasio. It's just, as you mentioned, looking to survive.
Very frustrating for a fighter, a gladiator like Dwight Muhammad Qawi. He likes to just get there and lay it out with a man, as he has done in some of his epic encounters. That's what he likes the best. But this kind of cat and mouse chess game just drives him to destruction. Richard Steele continues to admonish Ocasio. Don't hold him. Let him go. Fight. And none of it is making any sense to Jaws, who answers him in Spanish. No hablo inglés, he said.
Ossie, Jaws, Ocasio.
They got to call him Ossie Feet Ocasio after this fight.
Punches trying to get out. Come on, let's go.
Sometimes you get the idea that Ocasio is bored with the proceedings.
A little smile plays on his face as he's hearing some inside joke that we're all not privy to. And in the meantime, desperation on the face of Qawi, who wants to fight and has a man eluding all of his efforts.
Less than a minute to go. 6th round. It has been a walkthrough. Ocasio just circling the ring. Qawi in pursuit.
You know, the thing is, if Ocasio could fight a little bit when he went into these breaks, he could be stealing rounds because he's causing Qawi to be frustrated, to miss punches and so forth. But since his punches are so ineffectual and so poorly thrown, they're not getting points for him. So therefore, it's not exactly Leonard and Hagler. It's not exactly a guy chasing to get punched and a brilliant boxer boxing away and administering punishment when he stops.
And that'll do it for another uneventful 3 minutes.
A little bit of uncharacteristic opinion sharing by the referee, who walked over and gave a lecture to Qawi. He said, "You're going to have to make this fight work on that side." He said, even he is rooting for it.
Well, Richard at Steele doing some coaching, but all he wants to see is some energy and some action.
And if he can speak Spanish properly, he would go to the other corner, as he will do eventually, and say, if you don't start fighting, points will fly, eventually disqualified. It's not that bad just yet, but as we saw in the Bone Crusher Smith Tyson fight, the referee would have been entirely justified to take a point and warn him that the fight would have been a disqualification had he not fought. It was a disgrace for the heavyweight championship of the world. This is not quite in the category of a disgrace, but it's certainly not something you write home about.
Winner here will get a title shot against the winner of the Holyfield-Parkey bout. And if this continues the way it has been going, it will be a unanimous decision for Dwight Qawi, and strictly a workout. Not much could be told from a bout like this, particularly in measuring how he would go up against a Parkey or a Holyfield.
It'll be a conditioning fight, nor will it be one that will help build the image of that fight, because you can't tell anything here from Qawi. Qawi had a brilliant performance here. Then people say, with that and the steam that he's got behind him, it's going to be a blazing fight. Holyfield has developed. We shall see what happens later on, but he has developed much improved over the Holyfield that fought Qawi. So, and a complaint from Ocasio. You hit me on the elbow.
Christian Steele again, pleading for some action.
He's trying to orchestrate. I mean, I find that admirable in a referee. Some people object. They say referee has no place, but I do. I think the referee should be telling people, work it, get out, and fight here.
Round of little action coming up on 10 seconds to go in the 7th.
Qawi is not even chasing him with the enthusiasm that he did in the first few rounds. He's just walking at him. Actually, they do better math than I do.
And this is round 8.
That's the hardest punch that I saw Ocasio. He missed it, but it was the hardest punch I've seen him throw. He threw something in anger just then. I guess his corner said, enough playing around. Now go get him. It's yours.
Ossie Ocasio is 31 years old, out of Puerto Rico. He has been around. He is ranked second by the WBA, which is a mystery when you consider the inactivity. Also, you consider the junior heavyweight division. Quality at the top there, Amanda Holyfield, but here's Ocasio ranked number 2. Unbelievable.
I think it's just from the dirt of fighters who find that category rather mysterious. It does fit into that. Just guys on the way up to heavyweights fit into that category. It's an artificial category. And therefore we have Ocasio ranked number 2. Doing his version of the Milrose games here. He does not seem to have in his mind at any time that he's going to stop and fight.
Qawi is ranked number 1 by the WBA, 34 years old, out of Camden, New Jersey, ranking of 27-3 in 1 draw, 16 by knockout, and continues the chase. Continues to pursue Ocasio.
It's possible that Qawi will lose one of these rounds or several of these rounds now, because he is just giving up the ghost. He doesn't have the energy to chase him. He's throwing no punches, so even as little as Ocasio is throwing is more than Dwight is throwing. I think sometimes the venue has to do with how a man fights. I think Ocasio in Puerto Rico fights a much more aggressive fight than you see here, or else they'd peel his skin when he goes back to the dressing room. I'm serious. People in Mexico and Puerto Rico, they batter you on the way. I mean, they throw things at you on the way back if you fight this kind of a fight. this in front of his hometown audience in Puerto Rico, I guarantee you.
I agree with you, because the pressure is a bit different, and he does not want to be embarrassed. Not that he has ever really been the type of fighter who will heat it up, but still, I don't think you'd necessarily see this kind of performance. And you can hear the crowd reaction now.
Latin fans will excuse anything, incompetence and lack of talent, anything but lack of heart. If you show a lack of fear of the other fighter, a lack of heart, they just don't believe you should be fighting for the title.
To Marvel. All right, Dave, and this is round number 9. Dwight Muhammad Qawi in the red. Ocasio up on his toes now in the white. And continues to hear it from the crowd. And Qawi says, come on, get into it.
And so does Richard Steele. He said, come on, enough of prancing around. Oh. Hey. Dwight trying to make him mad. Dwight is saying, you don't want to fight this way, let's go to the street and fight the street way. Come on, show me something. And he shows him some more speed. Blinding foot speed. The man would make a great cornerback in the NFL. If you do football, you think this guy would do all right with Indianapolis or Buffalo maybe?
Getting very cynical.
He hurt his, I think that's his shoulder. The way he wrenched it, he might have pulled that out of the socket.
And the fans will not believe this one, as a timeout is called by Richard Steele.
No, he has something wrong with his shoulder. It should not be allowed.
Richard Steele allowing them to continue.
They should call a doctor up to check it at least. He got a severe wrench of the shoulder guard. See, he's trying to pull it back in. Might have popped back in, but let me tell you, that is a painful thing.
Let him go.
Now Ocasio's going to get mad. I think Dwight's doing anything to make him mad so he can fall into a fight. See the way Dwight has his arm locked, Ocasio, and pulling on it and trying to, with leverage, pop that out of the socket. Now watch that. See that? He did it again.
The right hand of Qawi holding on to that left arm of Ocasio.
Anything to make him mad. Well, that's the closest thing to action we've seen so far, and it bore very little resemblance to boxing. This is an embarrassing and almost a shameful night for Ossie Ocasio. And this is his last fight. It is a shameful way to leave after a very good career.
And Richard Steele continues to talk to Ocasio about the holding, and we will go to a 10th and final round. Many people who feel that Mike Tyson's toughest opponent down the road could be Evander Holyfield.
He has to gain weight. It has to be natural weight. And, of course, he has to win these fights. Tonight he's in a tough fight. He's got to win continuously for the next year and a half. As Tyson goes through the heavyweight ranks, I see it as a big fight down the line if they both continue to win. And if there's anybody that can beat him, it'll be a new, fresh guy like Holyfield. None of the old guys around are going to beat Tyson.
This is the 10th and final round. It has been a deadly 9 rounds. What do you have on the scorecard?
It's almost academic. I got my 9 tables are getting pushed to the limit. 90 to 81 every single round for Qawi. I'm sure one of 2 of those could have easily gone to Ocasio just because Qawi slowed down and did nothing about it. Still in all, it is an overwhelming
have a sudden turn here in the 10th round. As he gets back to the hotel, they're going to be booing him in the lobby.
He may find himself locked out of his room. That'd be with a maid waiting for him in the hallway to take him up.
Halfway mark in this 10th and final round. And the backpedaling continues.
This would have been a good fight to back into a pacifist convention. A bunch of people don't like to really see fighting should come to see this fight.
As a result of the Ocasio bicycle, Qawi has not been able to get much going, has not been able to line anything up. Not landed flush. Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the bout.
Merciless assault on your senses.
Coming up later on, Evander Holyfield and Ricky Parkey. And that is it. And the crowd reacts. And Ossie Ocasio had the audacity to raise his right hand. So we will get the decision in just a moment. And just ahead, here on Showtime, it will be Evander Holyfield, the WBA Junior Heavyweight Champion, going up against the IBF Cruiserweight Champ, Ricky Parkey. That is scheduled for 15 rounds. A battle of two champions. Las Vegas, Nevada. Temperature at 79 degrees. It is just before 8 o'clock here in the state of Nevada. Marv Albert and the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, with you at ringside, and we're awaiting the decision. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, moments ago, concluding a walkthrough against Ossie Ocasio. And it appears to be a no question about it. The scoring on the 10-point must system. Handled by the three judges, Art Flory, Patricia Jarman, Dave Moretti, all from Las Vegas. What does Ossie Ocasio think after the fight? Does he say, well, a night's work?
I think so. I think he says, well, it's a living. It's one more time we fool the public. Let's see if we can lay low for a while and come back and steal another few dollars. But it truly is a fight like this, borderline. There should be a borderline decision-making group to say, listen, you didn't earn your money. You know, let's negotiate how much money you're going to get. You didn't earn your money today. Let's say that's for sure.
And it appears we are set for the decision, so let's go to Chuck Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the decision of the judges. We have a majority decision. Judge Patricia Jarman scores the bout. 95 Qawi, 95 Ocasio. Judge Art Lurie scores the bout. 95 Ocasio, 94 Qawi. And Judge Dave Moretti scores the bout. 96-94 in favor of the winner by majority decision, Ossie Ocasio.
I can't believe that.
Amazing.
Amazing. Three judges, just like in the Leonard fight for Mr. Guerra. They must have trained under Mr. Guerra. That is incredible. That is the most incredible decision I think I have seen in my entire time in boxing.
The crowd disbelief. We have had some strange decisions here in Las Vegas, but this one
is a Hall of Fame. We just got through saying they should clip some money off his purse, and they give him the decision. That is the most amazing piece of narrow-minded thought I've ever seen. I mean, how could they, narrow-sighted, how could they have seen that? Ocasio quickly leaving before an interview is given.
Ocasio stealing one here in Las Vegas. Let's take a look at the fight doctor scorecard. A majority decision for Ocasio.
I could not believe I had every round given, and I said several could have been given the other way, but he was just fighting such a shamelessly ineffectual fight that I don't see how anybody could have given him anything off the punches he was throwing. He was throwing nothing. There was nothing on his punches. No steam, no effort. And outside of a track meet, I don't know how that could possibly be. I do not know how that could possibly be. Maybe that's what makes boxing so interesting, Marv.
Or weird.
Or I'm trying to avoid saying that word.
And so it is Ossie Ocasio, believe it or not, who will get a title shot. And Ossie Ocasio back in the ring now and getting booed by the crowd. It'll be Ocasio getting a title shot against the winner of Evander Holyfield and Ricky Parkey. All that is missing here is a laugh track.